Hi guys. So today I'm talking about process evaluation. And I want to just explain a little bit about the difference between an outcome evaluation, which is the typical kind of evaluation. I realize that most of you, but not all of you, are doing an outcome evaluation for a variety of reasons. Usually we juxtapose outcome versus process, okay? So whatever you're doing for the first evaluation, which, like I said, for most of you is outcome, one or two of you are doing a more knowledge-based learning type evaluation, but you're getting some outcomes out of that, versus process. So this is all about what a process evaluation is. So in thinking about patent step 5, when you had that chart of all the different types of evaluations, think of the process evaluation as the accountability and monitoring evaluation. So in the most basic of terms, the process evaluation is the program, whatever your program is, being conducted as it was promised. So when a program gets created, typically we hope that it's being created according to program goals, that your program is being, that there are steps that have to be conducted, that have to be done for the program, that meet the program goals, that hopefully eventually turn into outcomes, right? So the process is just that in-between part. Is the program actually being conducted the way it's supposed to be conducted? Okay? So again, accountability and monitoring. Going back for a moment to that excellent metaphor that's in your textbook about soup, Patton talks about a summative or outcome evaluation being how the customer responds to the soup. If the customer likes the soup when they taste it, that's your outcome evaluation, that's your summative evaluation. Where the formative, Patton juxtaposes, is when the cook tastes the soup and decides that something needs to be added. So changes the soup, makes it better, improves it. That's the formative, okay? The process is, I would argue, if we're using the soup metaphor, the process is the cook actually following the recipe? Cook wants to make chicken noodle soup, has certain ingredients, has a certain plan in the recipe. Is the cook, if it says a half a teaspoon of salt, is the cook putting in a half a teaspoon of salt, or did he put in too much salt and make the soup salty? Okay, so is the cook, being the person who's running the program, conducting, following the recipe, is your program being conducted the way it's supposed to be conducted? Okay, so the process piece is in the middle. If we were to use this class as an example, my class is supposed to meet every other Saturday. Are we meeting every other Saturday? This is how process evaluation would be conducted of our class. An outcome evaluation, just to juxtapose again, the outcome evaluation is looking at your grades. If I were to give you a pre-test on the first day of class and see how much you know about program evaluation, a post-test on the last day of class, did you learn anything, right? That would be an outcome evaluation. Your course evaluations that you'll do at the end of this course, which is more like a customer satisfaction survey, all outcome-based. The process is, are we meeting every 2 weeks? Are we meeting for 2.5 hours every 2 weeks? Am I conducting class according to what I said on the syllabus and schedule? Are we actually hitting those learning objectives that I laid out for you on the syllabus and on the schedule? If I say that things are going to be graded within a certain amount of time, I think a week is what I say on the syllabus, right? Am I grading your assignments within that week? So literally every piece of this class that's promised to you on the syllabus, that contract between you and I, am I actually conducting class according to what I said? That would be your way of doing a process evaluation of this class. So now put your program in place of this class. What is your program supposed to be doing? How will you know if your program is being conducted according to the way it was supposed to be conducted? So I want you to start to think, and this is all written up in your component 3 that I both handed out in class and is on D2L. What kinds of questions do you need to ask to come up with this? Is the program being conducted the way it's supposed to be conducted? So everybody's going to be a little bit different, but just like with validity, we look at whether measures are measuring what they're supposed to measure. Is the program being conducted the way it's supposed to? So ask yourselves the questions about how you would evaluate that. Patton uses a great example in step 8 of an emergency room. Make sure you read through that carefully and understand where he's going with that with a process evaluation. If the emergency room, what's supposed to happen in that process, what a process evaluation would look like of an emergency room procedures. So ask yourself questions like, what are the components of the program that need to be met in order to meet program goals? How would you evaluate whether those are actually occurring? And keep in mind that the people that are carrying out your programs are real people. They're practitioners. They're real people. Stuff's going to happen. Things are going to get in the way of things going completely according to plan. Somebody gets sick. Somebody doesn't necessarily conduct a group or something on the day that they're supposed to, or they use their discretion and decide, well, I don't really want to follow the program goals and program components. I'm going to do it my way. So for whatever reason, however you come up with that, you need to think about how you're going to evaluate. If you were to actually conduct a process evaluation,